Hey, my name is Serge. Welcome to Board Game Detectives. Today we will talk about pictures. This game was released in 2019 and in 2020 it won Spiel des Jahres, which is a huge deal. Yes, this is a very good family-friendly game. It is very simple. The rule book is just one page. You just cannot beat that. Very simple, you can play it with anyone. You can teach it in a couple minutes and off you go and have a lot of fun. Also, this game brings a very unique, innovative mechanism, which we will discuss later today. But before that, let's talk about pictures and photography in general. I am old enough to know what film cameras are. I took this picture of my wife over 20 years ago. At that time, photography was very special. In each roll, you had only 36 images, so you thought twice before you snapped that image. Every one was very special and you made sure that everyone was perfect. Since then, times changed. I have an interesting chart that shows this big change. Here in gray, we have regular cameras, film cameras. They grew in popularity since after World War II, and they peaked at around 1998 at 40 million cameras per year. Since then, we see blue bars is digital cameras, and they kept growing in popularity until around 2010, and then after then they suddenly dropped. What happened? Smartphones overtook this market, the yellow bars on top, and it exploded so much that it doesn't even fit on this chart. Let me take away my image here and show you this little portion. So this red square is this big chart that we just observed. And then we see this spike, this skyscraper. This is smartphones, cameras that completely overtook the market and changed the way we live. For better or worse, there are about 2 trillion new pictures taken every year. Pictures takes advantage of this abundance. They took 182 images and they created a really nice game using them. Let me explain how it works. For the initial setup, you will draw random 16 cards and you will put them into 4x4 grid. You will also set 1 through 4 and A through D markers. Now, every player will draw a random coordinates. For example, here I have D3, which means that this card is mine. I will try to imitate it using one of the 5 sets here. So we have cards with different icons, we have blocks of different shapes, we have cubes that you can arrange in a 3x3 grid here, we have sticks, stones, and shoelaces. Now, every player will have one of those sets and they will rotate with every round. Now, let's say I have D3 and I have those cubes. And we have a phone booth here, which is distinctive red color. So I might arrange my cubes like with this red tower and will use blue to imitate sky and yellow to imitate sand. And everyone will do same with their respective pictures. When everyone is done, we will try to guess who imitated which picture. If you do it correctly, you earn 1 point, as well as the other person who created this imitation. So you're incentivized to be more creative so that people can recognize what you created and what image it represents. And those 5 sets is what is making this game very special. Those are real stones. Those are real shoelaces. Have you ever seen any game with such components? No, I have not. When we first played this game, everyone was very impressed by the creativity of the designers. This is a very special game. It is guaranteed if you have guests over and you pull out this game, they will also be completely blown away by this innovation. This makes this game very attractive. Everyone wants to try different sets and see if they can make it work for them. Surprisingly, it does work really well. You can use any of the 5 sets and you can come up with some idea to represent any of the images. Yes, sometimes you have to think really hard how to do this. And yes, people who will be guessing your imitation often will have to think even harder than you did to try to see which image you're representing. But then, when they finally realize your design and they say, yes, now I understand, it makes perfect sense, those moments are really great. It feels so good when those connect. In a way, you need to learn how to read other people's mind. Sometimes the imitation would work for multiple pictures, and then you need to make a hard decision which one exactly they were trying to represent. And when you guess correctly, it feels so good, at least for two of you who are getting 1 point each. As much as we like this game, it is not perfect. And in full transparency, it is leaving our collection. And there are multiple reasons. One of them is the size of the cards. It is very small, and it impacts two areas. To begin with, when you draw your coordinates and you want to look at your card, what is happening, players begin to lean over the table to look closer at their card. This gives away which card is theirs, or at least the area where it is located. This goes against the main idea of the game where everything should be a mystery, a secret, and you have to guess. Secondly, when those players do create some imitation because they picked on some small detail on the image, other players will miss that small detail because it is way too small. So we found that it is, even though idea is great, the execution is not good. 2 years later, they did release an expansion, Pictures XL, which has exactly the same 182 pictures, just larger size, 60% larger. We believe that those should have been included into the original game. Our family agreed that if we want to keep this game, we have to buy this expansion with the larger cards. However, by that time, the honeymoon was over, and we began to pay attention to other details. For example, we realized that there are only so many times that you will be excited with using shoelaces for the imitation. Also, we realized that the pictures are not great. Many of them, it's like, why did you pick those pictures? With the 2 trillion pictures being taken every day, every year, you could have picked better images. So the game became less and less exciting very quickly. The designers did try to fix this. They released an expansion called Pictures Orange. It provided 2 additional sets and another 110 pictures. Later, they released Pictures Christmas, which also came with 2 additional sets and another 110 pictures. So yes, they did bring more cards and more sets, which is great. However, those cards are still small. Should they release another expansion, Christmas XL and Orange XL? I don't know. For me, it looks like on one hand we have amazing idea, brilliant, I love it. But at the same time, execution, I think, suffers. I think they rushed the game without proper testing. And now they realize that they basically screwed up and they're trying to patch it to fix it later. I hope that at some time they will come up with Pictures 2.0 and they will go back to the drawing board, take all the elements that work and will put into another box. They can deluxify it, pay more money to get great pictures, maybe get some additional sets, some additional materials. I feel like this idea is still undercooked and there is still full potential to be explored and opened later. I really hope they will bring this home with some Pictures 2.0 edition later. Having said that, I still recommend Pictures. I guarantee that you will enjoy it for at least a dozen times, or even maybe more. Also, I guarantee that anytime you have guests over and you pull out this game, they will be surprised. There are no other games with stones and shoelaces. This game is definitely worth exploring and experiencing. Yes, it is not perfect. However, there is great value in this box, so I do recommend it. Hey, have you tried pictures? Please let me know in comments for how long your honeymoon lasted. Do you still enjoy it as the first time? I really want to know your experience. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.